In retrospect, Pat seems like a decent guy. He's always friendly and talkative. He's like my mom. He takes care of everything around the house, whether it be taking out the trash or cleaning the dishes. He goes so far as to call me if I've been gone for a long time. Then it occurred to me, how does he know that I am not home? And why does he care? I'm pretty quiet, and the walls are soundproof enough that I can't tell when my roommate is home. He could check the light seeping through the bottom of the door, but I could just have the lights off. It's already unusual enough to live with your landlord, let alone living below him. I have lived here on and off for 3 years while I complete my degree. There's never been a time where I was home and he wasn't. I have only met one of Pat's kids. He told me that his kids don't have time to see him, not even during Christmas. My roommate told me about a weird incident that happened during the Christmas holidays. She went downstairs to grab a snack at 3 a.m. When she arrived in the kitchen, she turned on lights and screamed. It turns out that Pat was in the kitchen eating in the dark. He's divorced, and he can barely speak English. He only leaves the house to see his mother in the hospital. My girlfriend lived with me for a month at Pat's place. She was moving and had to throw away some of her stuff that she couldn't bring with her. A week later, after she moved out, I noticed her shoes laying on a rack in the garage. That's when I realized Pat's ripped open the sealed plastic bag and stored all of her belongings that she threw away. Then I started to think he was trying to figure out my schedule. When I was on my way to school, Pat stopped me from leaving the house. He started asking me questions about where I was going and when I was coming back. After my return for second year of university, things got creepy. He showed me a scar on his arm. He told me that he has a very high IQ, and the scar was from a chip that was installed by the government. The chip was meant to track his location and activities. But most importantly, the chip was used by the government to control him. At least that's what he told me. And up until this day, he has no idea why the government's controlling him. He has no explanation. He told me he tried to get it removed by a surgeon, but they just moved it to a different location in his body. He told me that the surgeon was updating the chip for the government. Things got even weirder. I must have gained all of his trust the third year I stayed at Pat's place. I had all my bags packed to go home for Christmas. Everyone else in the house already went home. Pat came down the stairs. He was a mess. It looked like he was fresh out of a coma. He started getting into detail about energy, specifically how it can be controlled by the human mind. Then he told me something bizarre. truly believes that he can utilize energy to read minds and move objects. After he told me this, I was outraged. I asked him to move the towel with his mind. I asked him to read my mind. He told me that he didn't want to have that power over me. After that incident, I started noticing things. My water started tasting funny. I saw salt being burnt in the kitchen. He knew when I had people over and when they left. He would stare at me when I would eat in the kitchen. He would stop for a moment outside my door before going up to his room. I thought there was no way he could do anything odder than what he's already done before, until he gave me a USB stick to print some of his files. When I opened the folder on the USB, I almost threw up. There was 3 disturbing JPEGs on that USB that haunt me to this day. All 3 files were naked photos of what could have been his mother, each of distinct bruising and cuts. At first, I felt bad for Pat. No family, no one to talk to, deprived of basic human communication needs. His isolation became my burden. With all the creepy stuff I endured throughout my stay, I remain on the edge, cautious and curious about Pat.